Okay, so quick content. Yay! We're going to talk about how you, as a busy boss, can quickly create quality content, okay, to build your brand and boost your business. So, this is officially day number 5 of the Content Creation Challenge, where literally for 100 days, every day I'm checking in with you so I can talk to you about things you can do to work on your money, your marketing, and your sales, specifically your content marketing too, right? So let's dig into the content creation conversation for today. As always, time. This is an opportunity for us to take the time to work on using content marketing to grow your business brand visibility. So I'm here so that every day I can check in with you daily, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to create content daily. Okay. So the goal here is that whether you choose to give yourself a content challenge of creating content daily like me, or maybe once a week you batch content that you can strategically share with your audience, that's the goal. Now, of course, you can take the time to work on these daily activities on your time and at your pace, but really what I want you to do is to see if you could either focus on either setting aside a certain day a week or certain times a week to work on your content creation efforts. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to friendly remind as we talk about number 2, which is our task today. Okay, so let me check my notes here. Our task for today is quick content days. So my goal, right, is that I'm doing this series with you so I can literally pull back the curtain and show you what I'm doing as part of my personal challenge. I've challenged myself to, on my SistaSense blog, write an article, 100 articles in 100 days. Woo, right? And so when I decided to do this challenge, I said, you know what? As opposed to me just kind of doing this for myself, let me bring in the community and actually show you how you can use these strategies. So as I'm writing 100 articles on my blog, I'm literally taking every single idea, concept, and strategy and sharing it with you on the backhand side, the back end side, as part of this 100-day content creation challenge. So I say that to say this. Today, I am wanting to share with you quick content ideas because guess what? I'm not going to be writing every day, okay? Well, the goal is to write every day, but I'm human and you're human too, which means that I've got to be able to integrate quick content strategies into these daily sessions. Some days I'm going to be able to take, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or even 90 minutes to really write some great articles. And other days, like you, I'm going to need some quick content too. So today I'm going to share one of several quick content ideas with you. Okay. So today it's all about using a strategy that I like to call write without writing. Now, if you have, follow me on this, if you have a book or if you have a lead magnet that you've previously created, what you can do is post pages. Okay. What does that mean? Take a page or a couple of pages from that content and post that excerpt onto your blog as a new piece of content, right? So as you know, this content creation challenge, the heart of it is writing and article marketing. Even if you struggle to write or you hate to write, baby, I got you. I got you. We got techniques and strategies to help you, right? But the goal here is using articles as the base of your content marketing and then repurposing those articles so that you can share them on social media platforms and video and audio content and all the things. So if you have a book that you can pull some pages out of, great, because that's going to be a great opportunity for you to not only quickly share that content without having to write it, but then also an opportunity for you to build your list and generate sales. Now, if you have a lead magnet and you're like, I want to get more people to read or download my ebook or whatever, take some of the content in the lead magnet, use it as a post, and then say, hey, by the way, go get this free guide. Or take some of the book content, put it there and say, hey, by the way, go purchase this book, right? So it's an opportunity to either sell your book or promote your freebie downloadable lead magnet, okay? So that is the quick challenge for today. That's your task. Let's talk about different types of topics that you can consider when it comes to your offer, right? You can pull out the main title of your book. You can pull out maybe a chapter of your book. You can pull out maybe a title from a quote or an exercise in your book. So there are a lot of different pieces that you can potentially use as content, again, to turn your post into pages. Now, let's talk about techniques. You may be saying, I like this idea, LaShanda, of quickly creating content, but I don't have any books written, or I don't have any lead magnets written. Do you have an article written? Well, we're on day 5, so hopefully you have at least one article written based on the strategies I'm sharing with you today, right? But if you can't pull pages you can post from a lead magnet or an actual book that you've created, the flip side of this challenge is to turn your posts into PDFs. I do that all the time, right? And so I want you to be able to consider doing that as well. It's really easy to take a really great article you've written and then either just reformat it so you can save it as a PDF ebook, or expand it. I've got a strategy called 3 E's: expand, enhance, elaborate. So take that article and write a little bit more, add some zhuzh to it, and then turn it into an ebook. Now, I'll say a couple of things here. You know, I lead by example. So number 1, my latest blog post is all about 3 smart subscription programs that you can add to your business to boost income and increase profits. That article is a piece of quick content because the majority of it is actually from a book that I have called Everyday Sales Using Subscription Programs. So this is an opportunity for me to, again, quickly create content, pull content from the book, and then say, hey, if you don't have the book, look, here's where you can go to get it, okay? So I'm a visual girl. If that's something that you want to do, number 1, take a look at that post for inspiration for you, okay? And then number 2, if you've written articles, which I've done, I have another example to share with you. Over at SistaSense.com/RYB, you'll see something called run your business like a boss, right? This is actually content that I wrote and then repurposed in the form of a PDF. So again, that's something that you can do. If you haven't already created book content you can use, on the flip side, take your article content, your posts, and turn them into PDFs. So those are 2 sides of this challenge for today, okay? Pages into posts, or posts into PDFs. All right. So those are a couple of things that I want you to think about as far as time, tasks, topics, and techniques when it comes to our 100-day content creation experience. Now, I always have to remind you that this is all about, or rather also about, tackling your challenges when it comes to finding the time, when it comes to figuring out how to market, what to write, how to write, all the things. So I want to make sure that you're taking time to, as you're doing this, check in with yourself to see if there are certain things that you personally need to tackle, number 1. And if I need to, or if I can offer you some support or guidance around tackling your challenges, let me know what those things are. You know, you can email sistasense@gmail.com, or as you're on the sistasense.com website, click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message so we can check in as we go through this 100-day process. And not only can I share with you different topics and tasks and techniques and all the things, but we can also work on tackling those things that challenge you when it comes to you being consistent and intentional around your marketing, business building, content creation efforts. So I want to make sure that we were able to explore all the goodies that I wanted to share with you. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, if you don't have an ebook template to turn your posts into PDFs, make sure that you go over to the Template Club. The Template Club is one of my resources over at sistasense.com/TTC. It's an opportunity for every month me to offer you easy to edit Canva templates. You get a boatload of templates as part of the Template Club. One of the first ones you get inside your starter kit is an ebook template. So if you don't have one, I have a great one literally waiting for you so you can plug and publish your best article content content in there and use that for additional promotions. Okay. So let's see here. What else did I want to share with you today? Oh, we have some quick techniques. I'm going to backtrack here. Let's talk about techniques that I forgot to mention in today's conversation. So, I also like to share little strategies that I'm using as I'm writing the content to work on actually getting visibility on the content, right? And SEO is one of those big things when it comes to blogging for business and driving traffic back to your website. Now, when you go to my blog over on SistaSense, you'll notice that every article has an image. When you're adding your articles to your blog, my blog is built on WordPress, you want to make sure you add a featured image, which would be pretty much the thumbnail image for that post. Now, I set up my images in Canva, and when I do, every time I save those images as a PNG graphic, I make sure to name that image pretty much the same name as the title of my blog post. You know why? Because that gives search engines a better understanding of what that image is all about. So today's article is about simple subscriptions, increasing your profits and increasing your revenue. So those are words that I use to name the graphic that is the featured image of that post. If you want to work on SEO, search engine optimization, and getting more traffic and visibility to your content, of course, work on writing great content. But of course, number two, making sure that you also are making your images easier to find by correctly naming them. A lot of people, either if they purchase stock photos, they just kind of use the same name as the stock photo, and that name might not be what you're using that particular post for. Or maybe you use your own photos from your camera and they're like IM3Z2578, random file names that aren't helping you when it comes to SEO, search engine optimization. So naming or rather renaming your images intentionally, strategically adding images that connect, right, to your content are smart things to do, because of course you want people to share your content, right? So if someone sees the post and they're like, ooh, I want to pin this, or I want to share this, there's an image attached to it. And as we know, pictures are worth 1,000 words. You want to make your content more shareable, more visually appealing, add those photos, rename those photos, and then also make sure you're giving people an opportunity when they're on your blog to share that content. There's some great WordPress plugins like Shareaholic or Share This. If your WordPress theme doesn't already have the feature where already share icons are added to each post. Now, if you're using WordPress as part of this 100-day content creation challenge, I have visual training for you to actually show you how to do things. So if you go, ooh, girl, I hear you, but girl, I don't hear you. Make sure that you go to the extra training section so that you can watch the training on working in WordPress, number one. And there's another training in there, number two, on how to make 31 pieces of content in a day. Okay, so those are two great trainings. There's quite a few in there, but there are two great trainings in there that are going to help you get better at your blogging for business, your WordPress too, your WordPress skills. And like I said, we want to make sure that you're tackling the resistance when it comes to content creation. So if there are some trainings that you need that I can add to that extra support section for you, let me know and I'll do what I can do to support you. Now, this is day number 5 of our experience, so that we are consistently working on making sure you are working on your A's, your B's, your C's, and all the things, right? Your A's, growing your authority and your audience. Your B's, working on really, number one, growing your home base. So having a place, your website, where your digital footprint is growing and expanding, and building your customer base. So as people are consuming your content, they're buying the things that you want to sell, right? And of course, your brand visibility too. So the A's, the B's, and the C's, working on your credibility, your content, and really, truly turning that content into cash flow. Your D, of course, as I mentioned before, making making sure that you're growing a digital footprint. So when people Google your name or your brand, they see all of the amazingness that you've created that ultimately will drive traffic back to you, so that you're working on your exposure and your email list building efforts too. So now that we've gone through the quick content challenge that I've given you for today, TA number 1, take action, right? Do the work. Work on either turning your pages into posts or turning maybe one of your posts into a PDF that you can use as a lead magnet. And of course, make sure that you're taking action by intentionally checking in with me and the community, letting me know what you're working on, what questions you have, all the things, so I can make this challenge even better for you. Of course, we want to also take time. Take time, right? The web, online, it's a space where sometimes you can feel rushed. You can feel like you're behind everybody else. Now, my goal, like I said, is every day for 100 days to check in with you. That doesn't mean that you have to create content too every day. If you want to, great, but that's your decision to make, right? So remember, when it comes to time, to take your time and work what works for you, either setting aside once a day or maybe once a week to intentionally batch out your content. And of course, as part of this experience, you're literally getting 100 days that you can consume at your pace, at your time, anytime. All right, so that's it for our session for today. Of course, I'll be right back here for another dose of direction with you. Make sure that you keep following the blog, keep following the series, and letting me know what you're working on and what you'd like to see next as part of this experience. So, yay! See you tomorrow. Continue to create your amazing. Mwah!